So this is ps2 hangman. Um, Load words and choose words are given. 그다음에 is word guessed. For this one, we initiate I with 0. And for every letter or character in this secret word, so and if the character or letter is in the letters guess, so guess, we're gonna add 1 to the I. And when the I is becomes equal to the number of secret words, so number of character in the secret word, I becomes -1, and we're gonna return I as it is. And next one is get guessed word. So for every character in the secret word, and if the character is in the letters guessed, so if you already guessed it, we're gonna print the character. We're gonna show that, and we put this space at the end. And if it isn't, because we need to keep a space in between, like so, because just like saying, if there's no space in between, it's hard to see how many characters we put over here. So that's why we put space in the end. And if it isn't, so if you haven't guessed the word yet, we're just gonna put this underscore, and in the same manner, put space. Next, get available letters. So alphabet is equal to list of the lowercase alphabet letters. So A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, P, Q, R, X, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And available letters is equal to a set of alphabet minus or a set of letters guessed, because there's just um, removing the letters we already guessed from the entire alphabet, which leaving me just available letters, which is pretty intuitive. And we're just going to show the available letters. And next function, unique letter counter. So alphabet is equal to a list of string, list of lowercase alphabet, and for every character in the secret word, or for every letter in the secret word, if the letter is in alphabet, um, remove that letter from the alphabet or the list of alphabet, and number of unique letter is equal to. I'll leave us so blah, blah, blah. We can get the number of unique letter by um, subtracting that subtracting this alphabet, where we remove the unique letter from the entire list of alphabet, and then we can subtract that from the whole list of alphabet, and we're just going to return this number of unique letters. It's pretty easy. And now is long function, which is a hangman, the main function. So we are gonna set this vowels a, e, i, o, u in a list. So letters guessed. So this is the list that shows what the user has guessed so far, and number of guesses. On the problem set, I think it's meant to be 6, but I'll increase to 10 just to, because 6 was turned out to be too hard for me. Number of warnings is specified in the problem set to be set as 3, and number of letters equal to the len of secret word. Len is a function that shows how many elements are in it in the string, and that's what it is, the number of letters. So print, and then we're going to print. I'm thinking of a word that is this much long. So number of letters long, number of letters long. So this is going to be integer. And while number of guesses is greater than 0, so we have still have guesses left, and this word guess is not equal to true, so word is not guessed yet, and number of warning is not equal to 0, so it's greater than 0. So we still have warnings left. So we're gonna print. We're gonna show number of warnings. We're gonna show number of warnings. We're gonna show how many guesses we have left, and we're gonna get available letters from the letters guess. So it comes from here, which is just gonna return how many of we're gonna return the available letters, and we're gonna get user input. So user letter is equal to input. Please guess a letter, and we're gonna input. We're gonna take it in as lower. So even if you put a capital letter or uppercases, if the user decided to type as lower like uppercases, we're still gonna take it as a lowercase, process as a lowercase. And this is warning system. So for this part is a warning system for the user input. So when the user put um, invalid input or incorrect input, so while the user letter is not equal to one, so if the user decided to put more than one letter like A, B, or instead of just A or B, or user letter is not in the list of the alphabet. So if the user decided to put something else other than alphabet, like exclamation mark or number or period, etc., or some Korean alphabet, and this or user letter in letters guessed, or if the user already guessed the letter. So if those are the case, and if the length of the user letter is not one, so if user put more than one or no nothing, it's gonna put it's gonna put one at a time. And if the user is letter is not in the list of alphabet, we're gonna print invalid input because that meant user put some weird non-alphabet as an input. And if the user already if the user's letter is already in the letters guessed, which means the user already guessed, then we're going to print you already guessed. And the number of warnings, we're going to subtract one from number of warnings. And if the number of warnings reaches zero, number of we're going to penalize the user by subtracting one from number of guesses. And it's going to print if you have how many like number of guesses left. So if you had three and the user put if the user put so much invalid input to the point that if the number of warnings left equals zero, then we're going to take the number of guesses out, and number of guesses become like from 3 to 2. And then we have number of warning. We're going to reset the number of warnings to 3. So it was 0, and now it became 3 again. And if number of guesses is equal to 0, so when we it's going to break out of this while loop. And then we print you have about how many warnings left. Shows how many warnings we have left, and user letter is input. Please guess a letter. So it's gonna ask again. Please guess a letter. Oh, yeah. So letters guess that append user letter. So add the recent user input into a list. Oops, I have a typo. List letters guessed. So whatever user inputted is going to be added into, as long as it's a valid input, it's going to be added into the letters guessed list. And if user letter is not in secret word, so user guessed it wrong, basically. If the user letter is not in vowels, so it's not a vowel, it's a consonant, number of guesses is going to be reduced. We're going to subtract one from the number of guess, and else, so the vowels, if it was vowel and it is incorrect guess, then we're going to take away 2 guesses from the number of guesses left. I'm going to print get guessed word. So get guessed word over here. We're just gonna show something Apple, like this kind of stuff. with like a blank and the letters we have guessed. And if his word guess is equal to -1, so so this function return I equal -1. So return -1 only when we already have guessed the word. So which means we is if is word guess. So if we guess the word, we're gonna break out of this function. And if number of guesses is greater than 0 and number of warnings is greater than and number of warning is greater than 0, that means after we guess the word, if we still have guesses and warnings, then we're gonna print "Congrats, you won." The word was this secret word, and we're gonna calculate the total score by multiplying number of guesses with unique letter counter. So if it was apple, the unique letter would be APLE, so just 4. So 4 times number of guesses we have left, and that's going to be our total score. And else, which means we ran out of guesses or warning, then user lost. So you lost. The word was this secret letter or word. Match with gaps. And that's the end of it.